Welcome. Want to make sure everybody's in here. Want to make sure everybody could hear me. Give me 1 second. Perfect. I could hear myself. Hope everyone has had a great weekend. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let me situate myself. Hope everyone had a great trading week last week. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody who celebrates. Yeah. Happy Turkey Day. Finally in December. Should be a good week. Should be a good month of trading too. Again, for the new people watching us, we're gonna go over the pairs you see with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AU, finishing off with US oil, AUD USD, Euro AUD, Euro USD, EUROCAD, GA, GCAD, GJ, GU, US30, USDCAD, USDZAR, gold, Bitcoin, and oil. Those are gonna be the pairs that we're gonna go over this weekend. They're the pairs that I look at on a day-to-day basis, Monday through Friday. But if you guys have any questions about any other pair, whether or not they're on our list, just let me know. Gonna give everybody another few seconds here and then we'll start. Once again, this session we're gonna go to the daily time frame, talk about where we're at, what we're looking for, see if we have any continuations, any breakup structures, you know, any rejections, any respects of lows or respects of highs. We'll go to the 4-hour time frame, same thing, look for continuation, where we're at, what we could be looking for, what could we be expecting. Do we have any rejections, vice versa, and then do the same thing in the 30-minute time frame. Look for our 30-minute highs, 30-minute lows, look for continuations. Do we have rejections? Are we against the trend? Are we with the trend? Year was good, Mohammed. What was it, stream, my brother? Alright, so let's get started. So, starting off with AU, and once again, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Starting off with AU, we know we're in A2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third push to the bottom. We had a month of drop in October. November gave us a second month of drop. Perfect. Could we be expecting December to give us a third push? Absolutely. Now, the only thing I don't like about AU is that we have a gap in the middle of the market after the first week. Or after the first month, sorry. Right? So, with that gap being in the way, could this be a reset of the trend? Could be. Jumper, how you doing? I'm doing good, my brother. Doing good. I can't complain. Hope you're doing well. So with that being said, the fact that we have that gap in the market already kind of offsetting for me. I'm not gonna be comfortable trading AU. But either way, let's take a look at. Well, let's go back here, right? We have this gap. This is the third month low. Go to the 4-hour. 4-hour, we had a week of drop. Then last week we had a week of rise. This previous week opened with a gap and price would be 13 pips. I'm not gonna update this one just yet. It's either gonna be a no net or a drop, but we gotta wait to see because we're pretty close to this opening candle. So could be a no net. Again, price was pretty much just moving sideways in this area. So at this point, 4-hour time frame, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. Once again, for this third month to play out, we are looking for lower lows and lower highs. So we already know if we start rejecting these highs, then we know we can start looking for pushes back down to the bottom, right? But right now we're just getting ready to see where price wants to go. Right, in the 30-minute time frame, we can see that price has just been rejecting highs, going short, right? Consolidating, rejecting lows, going high, rejecting highs, going short, right? Rejecting lows again, going back up to the highs. So at this moment, we're either looking for a break of the highs to continue going high, or we're going to be looking for price again to reject, as you can see here, right? Kind of already giving us an input that this could be a double top, right? But we just gotta wait for the confirmations. The confirmations are a break of these lows, right? So we already know the market opens Sunday tonight at 5, right? Until tomorrow morning. If price gets to these lows and we start breaking lows, then we know we're gonna continue that push back down to the bottom. But if we reject these lows, start pushing to the top side, we know we'll be looking for a break of these highs or a break of these lows. So we'll already know by the time NYC open starts tomorrow, we'll know what direction the price wants to push. So right now it's just a waiting game for us. Give it a few hours. We'll keep these markings here. This is the markings that we had on Thursday's session, if I'm not mistaken. Then we had a day of rise on Friday. Okay. Right now we're still trading again, lower low and lower high, still trading between this 30-minute high and this 30-minute low. Take a sip of water. Great, man, I'm good, doing well. That's good, I'm glad to hear. And again, guys, any questions, let me know. I am gonna go through these pretty quickly now. Give me 1 second, I'm getting a phone call. My bad, I'm back. So yeah, gonna go through these pretty quickly just because again we do the same thing with every single pair. We're all looking for the same thing, so I am gonna go a little bit quicker. But again, if you guys have any questions, anything at all, just let me know. So EA, we know we're in V2. We're in the second zone of consolidation. We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. Again, this is gonna be our safety trade. This is where we want to see price reject lows, right, and then start or respect lows and start pushing to the top side. Right, we want to start looking for price to turn around from making lower lows and lower highs to higher highs and higher lows. We want to see bullish engulfing candles. We want to see bullish movement, right? We want to see the double bottoms form. We want to see the internal change of characters, break of structures, right? But each time frame has to tell you something, right? Right now in the daily time frame, we can still see price making lower low, lower high, lower low. Right now we have no continuations, but at this moment we do have a monthly drop. So again, still no continuations. In our 4-hour time frame, we have a weaker rise, okay. But price is still making again lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. 30-minute time frame. We have the change, we have the break, we have the retest, we have the 372. And price right now is just still respecting the 800 EMA. Right now at this moment, we had a day of drop on Thursday, and then Friday price ended up against pretty close to where we're close open from on Friday. So this could be a no net, this could be a day of drop. I'm not gonna update this just yet. We'll wait until the market opens to really say what we did on Friday. But right now, no continuations, but we're looking good. Once price starts turning around, that's when we'll start trading it. Oh, my monitor just turned off. How did that happen? My bad, guys. Give me a minute. My monitor just turned off. Are we good? Test, 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 test. Perfect. Okay. My bad. I don't know what that was all about. So Euro USD daily time frame, right? We're again V1 looking for that second push to be made. We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. Once again, safety trade here at the lows. Prices still making lower lows and lower highs. We have 2 months of counter drop, so we're still not 100% ready to go. Not only that, we know we have a 30-minute gap still here at the bottom of the market, so could price still go back down, give us a fake break of the lows, and then continue the push to the top side? Absolutely. We have 3 weeks of drop. After 3 weeks of drop, market must give us a rise or a no net, and it ended up giving us a rise. So again, this is moving exactly how it needs to move. And in the 4 hour, we're still trading between lower lows and lower highs. So 30-minute time frame. We had the low, lower high, lower low. And we're still trading on that lower high. Still haven't broken above the 30-minute high. We still haven't broken above the 800 EMA. We're still, technically speaking, respecting these highs. So triple top usually means we'll have another breakdown to the bottom, but we gotta wait for those confirmations, right? This doesn't, oh, I'm getting in here because there's a triple top. No, wait for the confirmation. Once these lows are broken here, then you can start taking those trades. A little counter trend trade, just a little on both sides of the story, right? Giving you two pieces here. But let's focus on the bigger picture, which is when price starts moving to the top side. And right now we still don't have any of those confirmations. Right now we still just gotta wait it out. Look for a better trade, look for a better opportunity. Very similar with EURCAD, right? We're in V1, we're looking for that second push to the top side. We still haven't broken above our zone of consolidation. We still haven't broken above our daily high. We're just still testing. We got a pullback. Price continue to make lower lows and lower highs. We have a month of counter drop, and we also know we have a 30-minute gap at the bottom. This is already letting me know price is still going to push down. Right, again, we had 3 weeks of drop. On the 4th week, we're expecting price to move sideways or give us a push to the top side. Gave us a fourth push to the top, or it gave us a push to the top side. And right now in the 30, again, 4-hour time frame, price is still giving us lower lows, lower highs. 30-minute time frame, we turned around, we started making higher high, change of character, higher low, higher high, higher low, to where we're at now, higher high. 13 pips. I'm not gonna update this one just yet. We're super close. It could be just a day of rise, but it could end up being a no net as well. If price opens with a gap, or price opens and moves 14 pips down to the bottom, which isn't anything on this, could do that. So we'll leave this one till market opens and we'll update this one again. GA, we're in V2, we're in the second zone of consolidation. We're at the top of the zone of consolidation in an uptrend. Not the best spot you want to be in. Could still look for trades, but is it the best opportunities? No. For the month, brother, people calling me as soon as I start doing something is crazy. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry guys, I'm back. So with GA, once again, we're at the top of the zone of consolidation in V2. So this is not the best spot to take a trade. But if we could see continuations, if we could see price turning back around from making lower lows, lower highs to higher highs and higher lows, then yeah, absolutely, we could take these trades. Right? Because at this moment, we know, how would I be looking at this, right? Once we're at the top, right, overall picture, right, just zoom it in just a little bit. What is price doing in present time? And we know that in present time, price is literally just consolidating. We're rejecting highs. Right, we're rejecting highs the same way that we're rejecting lows. So I know that we could take a trade, right? These trades down here are like low probability, right? High reward. But once we start taking trades up here, anywhere above this area, we know we have trades up until this area up here, right? So all about being patient, but being able to put all the pieces together, and again giving the reasons as to why. It's not only like, oh yeah, this and this, but then not understand the reasons why it's happening, right? So again, at this moment, I'm just looking for continuations. Right now in the daily time frame, we don't have any. In the 4 hour, we have 2 weeks of drop. On the third week, which is this week, price did give us a new low with that opening candle that we had for the week and gave us a push to the top side. But again, since this is counter, I'm not going to mark this as a drop rise. I'm not going to be expecting a 4th week variation where we get another push to the bottom. But again, looking at structure, this could still be following lower lows and lower highs, right? I need to see this high being broken up here. Structure in the 30-minute looks good. We had a change of character, we had a break of structure, we had a 2 days, we had a 372, got the 3rd day push. On the 4th day, once again, you're looking for price to give you a push back down or giving a no net where price moves sideways. It gave you the sideways movement. Then on the next day, it gave you the continuation, that push to the top side. So once again, this pair is looking really, really good. Just gotta wait for the opportunities, but now we know that we're trading between this 30-minute low and this 30-minute high up here. Have a day of rise. So right now, just gonna be a waiting game on GA. This one is looking good for this week though. Especially if we could break these highs, that'll give us another push to the top side. So this is looking good. GCAD, again guys, any questions, let me know. Anything that doesn't make sense, anything you want me to explain, let me know. GCAD, we'll also talk about the trades that I took this week on the pairs that I took trades on. Should be again, another quick class, but should be pretty good. So GCAD, we're in V1. We broke out of V1. We started that second push to the top side, right? Level 2. We know that in level 2 we're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA. Same way we did here, same way we did here. We got the push and we got a pullback, right? We won't get it perfect every single time, but we got the bounce, we got the rejection, we got the inducement, and price continued to push to the top side. For this month, we had a month of drop. Where is this at? Monthly daily drop. Okay, that's going counter against the trend. In the 4 hour time frame, we had 3 weeks of drop. Again, after 3 weeks, market must rise or give us a no net. So we already understood that we're gonna look for either price to move sideways or we're gonna look for price to push to the top side. Granted, on this pair, very similar to AU, very similar to EU as well, or EA, market opened with a gap going the opposite side. So with that being said, this is still a pair that, yes, while I'm still looking for overall pushes to the top side, we also understand that we still have a gap at the bottom of the market that price could still pull back down to, right? So every trade that I take on a pair like GCAD, any trade I take on a pair like AU that still has gaps on the opposite side, I'm very cautious taking those trades, right? So GCAD on the 4 hour time frame, again, We have a week of rise, so we're still looking good, but again, we still have that gap at the bottom. Then on the 30-minute time frame, simple 372, right? We had the change of character, we had the break of structure on the second day. Second candle gave us a confirmation, gave us a pullback to the 50% fib retracement. That was the entry. Internal time frame as well gave us a nice little change of character, break of structure, gave us a nice 372. Now on Thursday I wasn't expecting price to give us STP or give us the push, so I just held the trade throughout the session, and then on Friday at the market open at 7 p.m. is when my TP was hit, right? And then price just continued. So was a pretty good trade, nothing too crazy. Gave us a little type 1 pattern as well. As you can see, I had that drawn out. I think on Thursday we talked about this pair on the stream that we did, right? We were talking about how this could be a nice little type 1 pattern. We had the fib drawn out as well, so we had two entry points, which was either the 38.2 or it was going to be that 50%. So was a pretty good call out, pretty good trade that we had here. Give me 1 second, guys. So yeah, so GCAD right now, let's just fix our higher high, higher low. We had, I don't want to count this yet as a higher high, higher low, and then where we're at now, higher high, but for the moment we'll mark it this way, and then this week we'll change it if we need to. But take this out. So GCAD will be waiting. If we could break these highs over here in the 4 hour, then we'll continue, which again in the 30-minute time frame will just be a continuation. So it'll look the same. If we reject out of these highs and we start pushing down to the bottom, which pretty much what I'm looking for when I'm looking at a pair like GCAD, when we're kind of in the middle of wanting to see a steeper pullback, but then also wanting to see price push up, I just keep it simple, right? We already know that our highs and lows are set. So we know that these are the lows that price needs to break, right? And these are the highs that price needs to break. So we already know that if price pushes up to the top side and just continues to make higher highs and higher lows, then we'll continue to see that price push to the top side. But vice versa, let me also change the colors, and we'll keep this on the chart, and then we'll talk about this tomorrow morning. Right, and then vice versa. Price pushes down below these lows, then we know we'll have to get down to these lows. Once price gets down to these lows, we're either going to see something like this, or we're going to see something like this. Those are the only two options once price gets to these lows, right? After these lows are broken, simple, right? We got to break below these lows. You're playing a puzzle piece when you're looking at the charts, right? Once price breaks these lows, same thing. Gonna be looking for something like this to happen, right? Up until where? Until these lows down here, which again, these lows are going to be very similar to the gap. This is why that gap is very important right now, right? Because if price decides to come down and just fill the gap the way it did with EU, and we'll look at EU as an example, we'll be seeing something like this. Or we're going to see price go and break short and go down to the daily lows, which again is a great box, right? So we're either going to see price, which is what I had drawn out here a few weeks ago, is we're either going to see a full pullback down to these daily lows, or we're just going to see it close that gap. Again, and the example I could give you is the example with EU. Right, when EU came down, or it wasn't EU, but you can see that EU wasn't, it was GU that filled. Right, all it did for GU was fill the gap and then continue. So could we be expecting that same thing to happen on, I don't even remember what pair we were on, I lost myself, on GCAD? Could happen. So we want to be, we'll keep these markings up on the chart. And then we'll go over this tomorrow, and we'll see exactly what it is that price is doing. But again, just want to be very cautious taking any of these trades on GCAD before we fill this gap. Again, very similar to the way AU was. Mr. Wade, welcome to the stream, my brother. Appreciate you being here. GJ, we are still in peak high territory. Technically speaking, we're still in level 3. We're still in the push to the top side. We're still trading between our previous higher low down here, which is the daily lows, and higher high, right? And right now, everything that's happening in between here is just internal time frame, right? So right now in the month, we still don't have any continuations. We just have another month of drop. Last month, we had a month of rise. In the 4-hour time frame, we're trading between what was lower low, lower high, lower low, and then price went up and gave us a little change of character, higher high. So right now we're trading between lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. So we're trading between this 4-hour high and these 4-hour lows down here. Right. So at this moment, this push down to the bottom, could this just be a pullback for a higher low to be made to then see a higher high? Absolutely. Or could it be following the lower time frame structure, which is just lower lows and lower highs the entire time, right? Lower low, lower high, and then we made these lower lows down here. We'll say we're trading between this 30-minute low and 30-minute high. No continuations. Once again, this is a pair for me that I'm still not actively trading. I'm marking it up. I'm keeping it, I'm keeping it updated. But structurally speaking, how GJ looks in whatever time frame you want to put it in, it just doesn't look appealing to me. There's something about GJ that I'm just not comfortable with, right? Like the comfortable trades that I was like 100% confident in were these trades, for example, which this was a trade that I was chasing for about 2 weeks. Like, how could we, take these trades with little to no drawdown? That was the idea, right? And then to take the trades going back short, like, yeah, we had this little nice, daily engulfing candle, but something about the structure I just wasn't comfortable with, right? Could we have been just using this as a retest to continue the push to the top side? Yes, even though price was still making lower lows and lower highs. There was a lot of things going on here that I was just not comfortable taking, which is all good. That happens, right? That's what we always talk about as well on the streams. If you're not comfortable taking a position, don't just force it, right? You have your rules. Are your rules being played out? If they're being played out 100% to the T and everything looks perfect, then take the trade. But if you're going over your rules and then you're looking at your chart and you're like, something doesn't look right, then just don't take the trade. So right now for GJ, nothing really on my radar just yet. I'm just gonna let this one kind of keep moving. Once we start having better structure, then I'll take a look at GJ. So let's go over to GU. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit. We're almost done. We're only missing about 6 pairs. Nothing too crazy. So GU, we're in V1. We're in the first zone of consolidation, looking for that second push to the top side, right? We're looking for the break of structure. We got the break, nice break, and now we got the pullback, right? So now at this pullback, what we got to look for, we got to start looking for price to give us higher highs and higher lows. Right now on the monthly view, we have 2 months to drop. Could we expect price to give us another push down to the bottom and then give us a push to the top side? It could happen, right? Externally, we're still making lower lows and lower highs, so this definitely could be a push to get a lower high into a lower low, which would make sense. Once again, we understand that thinking of what could happen, right? We know that GU closed the gap. We know that GU now gave us a change of character, higher high. However, we know that pairs that follow the same type of movements, right, which is like EU follows, it's very similar to GU. So the fact that EU hasn't filled that gap up at the bottom just kind of gives me an advantage, kind of, right? Lets me know like, hey, maybe GU is not ready to move yet. We need to get a pullback first. So this is already letting me know, okay, cool. Yeah, we have a change of character, but a change of character isn't the 100% the 100% confirmation that price has turned around to continue. Right? Could price continue after a higher high, after a change of character? Could it go right back down to the bottom? Absolutely. So if we get this change of character, right, if we got a pullback and then we got a break of structure, then we know we could take these trades back to the top side. Until then, I'm not going to mess with GU just yet. Or if we get a continuation. If we got a continuation, that'd be good too. So right now we have a week of rise, we have a gap, reset, continued, we got the break. So now we know that we're trading between this 4-hour low down here, and we still don't have a set 4-hour high just yet, but we'll mark it as these up here. We'll update this one as the week goes on. And in the 30-minute time frame, we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price gave us a change of character here as well. We're trading between this 30-minute high, this 30-minute low. US30, very similar to gold, very similar to GJ. US30 is in peak high territory at this moment for US30. I'm just following structure, right? There's not really much to say about the market makers pattern here on GJ, or on US30. It's just more about, again, following structure. We still know we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We're in a higher high and price just continues, right? Still hasn't given us a set pullback. It still hasn't given us a set confirmation like, hey, this is the highest point in the market. Price just continues to go, right? So at this moment, we'll update it. We'll keep it like this. We'll know we'll update it in a few days, right? In the 4-hour time frame, structure, same thing. Higher high, higher low. We're in a higher high. The price just continued, right? So goes into the trade for now 2 weeks of rise as well. So could we expect another push to the top side? Could happen, but again, we have a gap in the market. We know that the gaps in the market reset the trend. So technically speaking, this would not be a valid 370. Well, it wouldn't be a valid third week push to the top side, right? 30-minute time frame. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, little fake lower low inducement. Price consolidated, right? It broke, came back, 50% of consolidation. Those beautiful trade, right? And then internally gave us the change of character, break of structure, which you'll see. Right. Not only that, we also had I think it was a 15-minute. So what time frame? We had an engulfing candle, the 1-minute time frame. Right, so after we had the crazy inducement, price started going, gave us a higher high, right? Nice little push, pull back into the engulfing candle, straight into profit after that. Right, straight into TP, which was the STP for the day, which was at 303 pips. As soon as it did STP, what did price do? Started slowing down and went right back down. Right, so US30 again for me at this point. Even though, let's even update our 30-minute high, right? We had high, low, and then gave us a higher high. So we know that we're trading between this 30-minute low. Let me delete this out of the screen real quick. Right, we're trading between this higher high up here. Before we get down to the technicalities of stuff, right? And this was what we had drawn out on Thursday. I wasn't expecting such a steep pullback, right? I was expecting just something like this to then continue. But as soon as we woke up for New York session, it pretty much just gave us the push down to the bottom. So once we saw that turned into a type 3 pattern instead of just a simple type 2 pattern break retest, it went down into the 50%, which was perfect, right? This happened literally right at the NYC open, NYC open, it gave us the inducement, gave us the push, gave us the internal time frame, change of character, break of structure. Very beautiful trade, very similar to the pushes down to the bottom onto the other days, but again, it's just following structure, right? So at this moment, we have 2 days of rise, we have 2 weeks of rise. Could we expect price to just continue the push to the top side? It could very much happen. This is technically very close to the 38 pips. This might end as a no nut as well, so we'll see. I want to see these highs being broke anyway for us to continue, but once again, with that gap at the bottom, I'm not firm on these pushes to the top side, right? So again, it's just about being patient, right? At this moment, this is a time where you just got to take a step back and be like, okay, if price, we could keep it simple and just continue to say these highs or these lows, then we know if we break these lows, we'll continue going short, or these highs to continue, right? But if we want to kind of look at it as in a minuscule way, we also know we have a gap here on the top of the 30-minute time frame. That was something I missed. I didn't see until just now, right? So once again, these gaps really let us know, like, hey, price is gonna come back up to here. So if price, just think about it, right? If price this week decides to do something like this, right? Or even we have a whole week, so let's say even these lows, right? Those are pretty steep lows. Let's say these lows. That's not gonna happen this week. There's no way, unless we get like simple straight pushes down to the bottom. But we wouldn't get that push to the top side. If we go all the way down this week, we won't get that same push to the top side. There's no way, right? So let's say these lows. If we reject these lows on Monday, right, then we know that Monday night going into Tuesday, Wednesday, these are the pushes we'll get up to the top side. Not only to fill the gap up, but to give us that third week push to the top side, right? I'm not really worried about the 372. I'm more kind of worried about if we continue this higher high and higher low push in the end of the week, right? Because at this point with this 372, the fact that we already have a gap in the market, it resets the trend. We have a steep pullback already towards the end of the day of the session on Friday going into this week as well. The fact that we have this steep of a pullback, I'm not expecting this to give us another push to the top side, right? I'll be expecting price to give me the push down to the bottom, and then at the bottom let us know, okay, is price going to reject to continue the push to the top side, or is price going to break these lows to give us that push down to the 30-minute gap? So this is going to be an interesting pair to watch for sure for this week. USDCAD, our daily high. I'm not going to use that because it's a huge wick, huge candle. We have 2 months of rise. We're in V2. We're in the second zone of consolidation. We had the break of structure, right? The only thing we haven't gotten is really a pullback after the break. But this is looking good. We have 2 months of rise. We'll be looking for price to give us a third push to the top this month now in December. We know that in level 3 where we're at now, we're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. So the fact that price is right on the 50, or it's reaching the 50 EMA in the daily time frame, that could be good signs. We're still making higher highs and higher lows in the 4-hour time frame. No continuations. We just have a month or a week of rise right now, but we can still see price giving us higher highs and higher lows. And in the 30-minute time frame, we had a change of character, higher high, and we've pretty much just been trading the pullback ever since that, right? So internal time frame, again, this is very close to the opening candle, is 5 pips. Price, and we'll call it a drop for now. But we saw what price did. Gave us the break, gave us a pullback, then went right back down to the bottom. So right now for USDCAD, just gotta be patient. Structurally speaking, this doesn't look the best in the lower time frame. Higher time frame kind of does tell us that price wants to continue to push. However, again, I'm looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. So EMA is gonna be moving, right? Blah 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 blah. The more price in the lower time frame consolidates and just moves like this, it gives the market and it gives the EMA more time to push up as well. So could this type of movement that we're seeing right now on USDCAD, which is just kind of, we're not going to say downward or sideways movements, but we could see that it has a little lower low, lower high trend to it. We could say that we're probably going to see that for a couple more days, right? We'll see downtrend movement in the internal time frame, and we'll see zones of consolidation, right? So we'll see something like this, right? And maybe it'll do it, you know, since we had such a big move here in the as an imbalance, you know, maybe they won't do it so small. Maybe they will start making big moves, right? And it'll look something like this instead, right? Instead of the smaller candles. So who knows? We'll see. USDCAD is going to be interesting for sure. And we already know if US30 starts moving, USDCAD, USDZAR starts moving as well. So you just got to start waiting for those confirmations, just like every other pair, guys. We trade these the exact same way, the exact same setups, you know, same type of examples in every single pair. Only thing that looks different is really the candlesticks and how fast they move, but everything else is the same. USDZAR V2, we're looking for that third push to the top side. We're at the low of consolidation, safety trade, and price just continued to push to the top side. This is very nice. We have a month of rise, almost a no net. Price this month gave us a second push. So once again, could we be expecting price to continue and give us that third push to the top side for the month of December? Absolutely. This has a gap here. That's not good. I don't know why this is not marked either, but it's all good. I'll mark it right now. So we have that daily gap, resets the trend, no longer looks appetizing for me. Right, a lot of the retail traders would already be trading this as a flag post pattern. Right, the daily going into the 4 hour. Oh, this is a bullish flag post pattern. But you know, without a fib, there's confirmations already letting you know that this isn't a flag post pattern. Right? With the fib, it's still telling you you're good to go for that. So this is kind of where the rules collide for a lot of traders, right? But for us, it's not really rules colliding. It's very simple. Is price trending or is price consolidating? Right? And what is a zone of consolidation? A zone of consolidation is an area where the market makers are collecting contracts. So while other people see it as, oh, rules are colliding, this is where the buyers and the sellers are, you know, it has nothing to do with that and everything to do with, again, you're in that zone of consolidation. Just keep it simple. Right? We know what makes up the zone of consolidation. We know that our zones of consolidations are traders who are trading both ways. Right? It's an area where traders are trading in different directions. That sounds better. What am I adding here? So I'm looking for Sunday. My bad, let me add a few lines here. So those areas of indecisions that the market has, you just let them be. It is what it is. Right now we know that we're stuck in a zone of consolidation. We've been in that zone of consolidation pretty much since the 14th of November, 18th of November. Right, so in between those 4 days, all of this has just been sideways movement. You can see it. We still haven't broken the highs, still haven't broken the lows. We had 5 days where price is just moving sideways. And there's nothing appetizing for me here. We already know this isn't a pair to be looking at. This is just not a pair to really be like, oh, we're gonna look for a trade now. Like, no. Let's wait for the confirmations. Price breaks these lows, we know we'll continue. We have this gap at the bottom. We know price is gonna come back and fill that up. Wait for that to be filled. Once that low gets filled, then you start looking for trades. That simple. But looking good, or vice versa, right? We break the highs. Daily time frame, again, very similar to US30. Peak high territory, market makers pattern. We're again just in peak high territory. There's really nothing here to say about that. Just gotta follow the structure, right? Higher high, higher low. We had a higher high. Price gave us a change of character, lower low. So at this moment, we're sitting in a situation where, is this gonna be okay? What is going on here? Am I like tripping out? Daily drop. We're in a situation where, do we have a lower low? Is this gonna be our lower high to continue into the lower low, or is this gonna be where price just again starts trapping traders, right, and starts going both ways? So, yeah, we have our confirmations of engulfing candles that we're gonna see now. Yeah, we have confirmations of a 30-minute gap at the bottom side of the market. We have confirmations that price is gonna go short. However, these aren't definite tools, right, or definite rules in the market that the market makers have to follow, right? Price could always continue to push to the top side, right, and then close this gap a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now. We see that on a lot of pairs. We see that on pairs like US30. We see that on pairs like USOIL, where price doesn't necessarily have to fill the gap in right away. Right? We saw it with EU. We saw it with GU. So gold for me is really one of those pairs where I'm trading continuations. Everything else could happen. If I don't see a continuation, whether it's a weekly continuation or a monthly continuation or a 30-minute continuation, right, a day-to-day basis continuation, I'm just not going to trade it, right? So, yeah, we had these gaps, but, the same way we were in the 4-hour gap, we were on the daily gap, but price internally, right, we're fighting between, we wanted to make internal higher highs and higher lows, but externally we were still trading the lower low and the lower high, right? So, and we could still see that these shorts didn't really give us nice shorts, right? It gave us a little push, a little pullback, and then continued. So right now for gold, once again, if it's not continuations on the 30-minute time frame, if it's not following structure, like again, I don't want to see a 372 going long when price is still giving me lower lows and lower highs. Why I would rather take a 372 going short when price is giving me lower lows and lower highs, and vice versa. If we're trading higher highs and higher lows, then I'll look for a 372 going to the top side. Right, so right now for gold, I'm just gonna be playing the sidelines on gold. I'm not gonna mess with that. Gold wins, man. They got it over there. I'll let the pro traders trade gold. Bitcoin, we're in V2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, already making that third push to the top side. Right, so this is looking good. We have 2 months of rise. Last month, which was November, gave us a third push to the top side. This month, I'm not really expecting price to give me another push to the top side, but we know how it is with Bitcoin and with a lot of these pairs, right? Manipulation wins majority of the time, right? We also had a few months of rise here, right? We had a rise drop and then 1 week, right? A week of drop. We had 1 week of rise, 2 weeks of rise, 3 weeks of rise, and gave us 4 weeks of rise. But we had a gap on the second week going on to the third week, and we had a gap on the fourth week as well. So, the many times that price has reset, it's given us those confirmations. That's all we gotta look for. So, for this week, price finished as a week of drop, reset, gave us a nice little pullback. Alright, we're still trading between this 4-hour high and 4-hour low. And on the 30-minute time frame, we had a change of character. We had a break of structure. And price has just kind of been consolidating in this area of the retest. We had a day of rise, day of drop, and then today. So it's looking good. This definitely could continue that push to the top side. Want to take a look real quick. So USDCAD, US30. Right, US30, we still want to see that, or we want to see the pushes up to the top side, right? This is the one that we have. Yeah, a lot of these gaps are just kind of making it a little bit not confusing, but you just want to be cautious about what you trade. Very cautious. Right, so on oil we had change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low. Right, test, came back, test, break. Right, we ended up having lower low, lower high. right? And then price gave us this lower low, and this lower low broke here and just continued. And so we know now that we're trading between this 30-minute high over here and these 30-minute lows over here. Right, and we know that oil, once again, we are in A1. We're in the first zone of consolidation, looking for that second push to the bottom side. So right now, again, the confirmation that I want to see for price to continue the push down to the bottom is the same thing that we wanted to see for GU when we were looking for those longs. Same thing we were looking for on USDCAD when we were looking for those longs. I need to see the break of the zone of consolidation, because once again, price was already at the lows 1, 2, 3, 4 different times. Right, and every single time, what did price do? Reject, go back high, reject, go back low, reject, go back high, reject, go back low, right? Reject and went back high. So is the same thing that price is doing now. Are we going to keep rejecting to continue the push to the top side, or is price finally going to break to continue? Right, and we could add everything up together, right? Do we have any continuations? No. We have 2 months where price has just been moving sideways. Right, our 4-hour lows and our 4-hour highs, we're still trading between the same 4-hour low and 4-hour high that we've been trading in since September. Right, and price again has just been rejecting these lows, going to the top, rejecting the lows. And again, how many times have we rejected these lows? 1, 2, 3, 4, to where we're at now could be the 5th time. So I'm not in no rush. Again, I understand that I'm pretty much in a zone of consolidation. Right, if we break these highs, then perfect. If we break these lows, then perfect. Right, at least we'll know where exactly price wants to go, and we have no continuations on any time frame. So again, at this moment, just kind of taking a step back from oil. Right, I'll get back to trading oil once we see continuations. Right, oil is a very beautiful trade, or very beautiful pair to trade on. Super smooth, super simple, market structure is beautiful, it pays out really well. But it's one of those pairs very similar to like what I was saying with GJ, and very similar to gold. I take my time with these pairs. Right, with these expensive pairs, I take my time with them. If it's not picture perfect, I'm not trading it. Right, I'm not putting myself in a situation where I have to babysit a trade and pray that it's gonna hit TP instead of stop loss. We have too many pairs to look at that look 100 times better. Right, and I'd rather focus on the pairs that look good instead of focusing on the pairs that look okay. So hope that made sense, guys. Any questions, once again, you could always hit us up on Discord, message on Discord. Our link to our Discord is in the description. We do free one-on-one sessions, right? We do these live streams for free every single weekend. We do the isolation session, market breakdown, which is the class that we do every single Monday through Thursday. We do the live trading session in the mornings, right? Usually from 6 to 10:30. So just let me know. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll be here. We'll see you this week. Hope you guys have a great trading week. You back doing the live trading? Yeah, I mean, I've always been here for it. It's just there hasn't been a lot of trades. So realistically speaking, I'm like, I wake up, I'm on the charts at 6. If I wake up and there's nothing on the charts, there's no point in me just turning the stream on, and then it's gonna be just us sitting there for 3-4 hours until 9:30, 10:30 o'clock. So, but I'll turn the stream on. We'll see how it is. If anything, I'll just turn the stream on. For the NYC Open, I'll turn it on at like 9. It'll just be like an hour and a half of a stream. But that's really the only reason I haven't done the streams. It's boring for me to sit there for 3-4 hours. You know what I mean? But alright, my brother. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Combo, no worries. Alright, my brother. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Peace out.